Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Susan from Raven's Escape Crafts. If you're new here, welcome. If you're back, welcome back. You all know how crazy I am. Welcome to Vlogmas Day. I think it's 11. Let me check. Um. Okay, there was no video yet. It's Vlogmas Day 11. I know there was no video yesterday. I did tell you that that was gonna happen. Yesterday was a lot. We'll get to that. So I am doing this this is going to be the first part of this video, and then I'm going to have you guys hold me accountable because there's still stuff I want to get done today. And this morning did not go the way I planned. And neither did this afternoon because it is 4 o'clock now. You know how things go. But I am working on some of the. I have 3 hats started. Well, I shouldn't say started. I have 3 Christmas hats worked on, okay, that are ready for the white around them. So I need to get that part done. I need to get these sewed on. I need to add at least something to my Etsy shop. I'm hoping I can get these 3 hats done today. This is my hope. I hope I can add and then add things to my Etsy shop. I need to make some rice for dinner. But that's how I measure. I'm just chaining this fur yarn for around my hats. There we go. Okay. And then, again, we're going to just double check. Okay. And then I need to make some rice for dinner, which we got a new rice cooker, so I have to go out there and set that thing up. And then, I need to make these hats, or finish these hats, and work on my Etsy stuff today. I did not get anything finished yesterday. Yesterday was just doctor stuff. Blah, blah, blah. We'll go through that in a little bit. Well, I'll give you some updates on that. So anybody who's been following me knows. So yesterday I had my appointment in the morning with my regular family doctor, my DP, and so things were good. It went well. She liked all my blood work, came back really good, so she was thrilled with that. Um, she was happy that I made my colonoscopy appointment. Not as much happy as when she found out that I had to have it done or I couldn't have my surgery, but so she thought I did it like willingly, but no, that was not going to happen. Gave me some crap about needing to go to the dentist and the eye doctor, which I do need to go to the eye doctor desperately. I'm going to try to make an appointment for that shortly. Not right now, though. Right now, I have enough going on. And then, of course, all right, so if anybody's sensitive, you don't want to listen to this part. But, so then she's like, well, you also need to go for your mammogram, which I know I need to go for a mammogram. And because my mother did have breast cancer, so I know that it's even more important to go for my mammogram. I'm well aware. So I do not have a problem going for a mammogram. The only problem I have right now is that they want me to be able to stand for 15 minutes. I cannot stand unassisted for 15 minutes. My feet and legs just won't do it. So I'm not sure. That's one of the first questions they asked me was like, can you stand for 15 minutes? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, okay, you can still make your appointment. Like, well, is that going to be a problem then or not? I don't know. So I need to actually call them and find out. Because I don't want to go all the way over there and have my husband take off of work to take me, and then they go, yeah, you can't do this. So, I mean, they have to. I would think they would have to be able to accommodate people with disabilities, but nothing would surprise me at this point. So then all was good. She wanted to do a couple blood tests, which I figured I figured, oh, I have a funny story about that too. But so I had, because I had her appointment at 8:45 and my wound care appointment at 10:30. So I figured, oh, I have plenty of time, in between the two. I'll run over. I have blood work for the surgeon that need to get done. I'll just go. Look how pretty this gets. Let's see. You can see. It's so pretty. Um, so uh this is that Loops and Threads faux fur. If anybody's interested in the color, it just says color SBA fur 5. I don't know. So I'm working on this. And so yeah, she's like, oh, I want to get this blood work. This blood work. Okay, that's no problem. No problem whatsoever. Um, and then she's like, what about your pap smear? And I'm like, yeah, it's been a minute since I had one of those too. Um, which, again, I know I don't want to hear about it. I know they need to get done. I know risk of cervical cancer, but again, I did not have insurance. I did not want to go. Um, so she's like, well, we could do it right now. And I'm like, she's like, so she, and well, okay. Then she started asking me about my periods, and I'm like, well, they're a mess, but I'm in perimenopause, and I mean, and again, if somebody's sensitive, I mean, and I apologize, I am not of that trope. I believe in periods are a completely natural thing. We should talk about them. Half the planet gets, half the population of the planet gets a period at some point in their lives. Um, Most women I know have had some sort of issue with it over the years, whether it's been cramps or endo or fibroids or just irregular periods or problems with it or whatever. And I hate that people don't talk about it because it's a completely natural uh, function of our bodies. And let's just face it, without periods, none of us would be here. So, yes, so I apologize if anybody is sensitive to period talk, but I believe we should talk about it wholeheartedly. I believe I am refreshed that people are talking about it more and more, and I think we should discuss it more than ever. Um, so my doctor was like, "Well, we could do your pap smear right now," and I'm like, "Well," at first, my initial gut body reaction was like, "Oh God, no." But then I'm like, "Well, I cleaned up real good this morning to come for this appointment, so I mean, what else am I gonna do? It's not gonna get just just finished washing up like 15 minutes before I left, so it's not gonna get much cleaner than this. Um, go for it." So then well, like I said, we were discussing periods, and she was like, "Well, that's I really want to get your pap smear and stuff done if you're having irregular periods." And I'm like, "Well, I'm in peri," and she's like, "Well, you know." Still, we want to be sure that it's not something like uterine cancer or cervical cancer or okay. So of course she's like, "Do you want to just do your pap smear right now?" And I'm like, my initial like gut is like, "Oh God, no!" But then I'm like, "Well, whatever. Let's just get it over with." Because I tell you what, and I don't know, I'm sure some of you are like me. When I know I have like a gyno appointment, and I have like I'm thinking about it for like 2 days ahead of time. And and then you get that awkwardness, and you're like, I don't really want to sit there in that stupid open front gown and the paper sheet and all that jazz. I don't. Mm. Uh, and then I'm nervous about it. Well, right now, if we just do it right now, I don't have time to think about it too much. So we did that, and so I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I got a surprise pap smear. Yay! That was exactly what I was hoping for yesterday. Um, yeah, so we did that. I'm gonna have to get going, and then I'll come back and tell you the rest of it. But I have to tell you the second part of it. This was hilarious. So, of course, she ordered some more blood work, and she was like, "Oh, you should have like a Hep C and an HIV test once in your life." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, I highly doubt I have either one since I've been with my husband for ever and ever and ever, and I think I would have had a reaction, like some sort of symptoms at this point if I had either one of those. But you know, um, it's I understand why they want to test. So, and honestly, I don't think I've ever had one. So so we did that. Everything's good. Negative. I figured, but whatever. Um, but the funny part was, so of course I'm a tech girl. Okay, I have been, always have been. I know, like I always liked, the newest technology. Not that I can afford all the newest technology, but I've always been fascinated in it. I've always kept up on things and, been able to figure out computer stuff and technology stuff. So I love my doing stuff on my phone, a ton of stuff, which I think is hilarious because like my my helper, my personal care assistant is like she's in her late 20s, and I'm like always teaching her like, why aren't you doing that on your phone? And she's like, you can do that on your phone, and I'm like, why am I teaching you how to do this on your phone? Thinking back to my parents, oh my god, never understood any technology. We had to do everything for them. Like when VCRs came out, it was like they couldn't figure out, especially once like what you could record, which was not user friendly whatsoever, I do admit. But like I remember my mom, did you put the tape in? Did you set up to record my shows? Never could figure out any remote controls ever. Neither one of my parents. My dad was a little better with technology than my mother, but far from proficient. It was constant like, what did I do to the computer? Why isn't this doing this? What is wrong with, where's my game? I can't download my emails. I'm trying to send these emails. He would send ridiculous emails to everybody all the time, my dad. But then he couldn't figure out how to do this stuff half the time. Oh, all right, just making sure it's still okay. There you go. So I'm like, why am I teaching these younger people how to use how to use technology all the time? But that being said, so where my doctor's office is, you come out like they have like those like big doors like you have at like the grocery store. When you come out of the doors from their office, there's like a little vestibule area, and you could go straight out in the parking lot, or if you go to the left, there is their lab. So like super convenient. It's in the same building, like right outside their door. So I thought, well, we're getting out of here, even with the surprise pap smear. Woo! We can go over there and we can get my blood work done quick. But we're pushing it because it's like we have to leave there at 10 o'clock and it's 9:30. So I'm like, we got half an hour, but we're gonna try to make this work. So of course I'm in the wheelchair. My assistant, my care assistant M, she's pushing me, and I'm on my phone making an appointment for the lab because I know you can do that in our My Chart thing. So I'm like, and it says right on the wall, if you have an appointment, you'll get taken before walk-ins. So I'm like, well, I mean, I know there was appointments available. I had looked first thing in the morning. While I was waiting between them leaving me in the room to get undressed for the pap smear and them showing back up, the knock, 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 like, I don't understand that. I never will. But while they're doing that, I'm on my phone again, double checking that the appointments are still available for like, like what's the next appointment they have. So we check out and she starts wheeling me over, and I'm like on the way. It's only a 2-second walk. I'm scheduling my appointment for the blood work. So here's the funniest part. We go in there and the waiting room is packed. I mean, wall to wall people. There's no chairs available. There's people standing. I'm like, oh, we only have a half an hour. I'm never going to get through this. And I figured there's only like, there's supposed to be four people working, only one lady ever shows up. I'm learning that quickly. Um, so I'm like, oh my God, I bet you there's only this one lady here, and they're like way behind. So of course, the nice thing is I have my own chair, so I don't need a chair. So I'm sitting there, and there's this older woman, and what I'm assuming was her daughter, both of which were way over older than I am. Her daughter looked like to be in her 60s, and this other woman looked to be in her 80s. And this older lady, she's complaining the entire time, right? How this is ridiculous. How long is this going to take? Oh my goodness. And of course, it's a room full of people. So, as I understand it, it's irritating to wait. I'm also not the kind of person who's going to sit there and complain, because just what everybody does not need is to hear about how long it's taking. They don't need a reminder. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying. I'm like, oh God, and she's sitting there the whole time. This is ridiculous. We should have gone to the different blood place. We should have gone somewhere out. This is why I don't like. We have our hospital networks are St. Luke's and Lehigh Valley around here. I'm sure you guys have like big. We have like two big. Everybody owns doctors. Every doctor's office, and it's two hospitals that everybody's either one or the other. And she's like, we should have gone to the other kind. I'm going to switch my doctor. This is ridiculous. Every time I come here, we wait. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like thinking to myself, your negativity is not helping anybody in this waiting room. Like, I wish you would just, I get it. You're irritated, but it's not helpful. So, of course, I'm chit-chatting with my assistant. We're just, chatting about like life to pass the time, because that's what I do when I'm, you know, um, waiting. So we're chatting a little bit, and she's getting irritated by that, right? She's like, because we're laughing, right? We're sitting there joking about stuff, and we're both laughing. And she's like, every time we laugh, and I'm like, well, at least I'm passing the time. Like, at least I'm having fun passing the time. No reason to sit here and be miserable. And so they called one lady in, who had been sitting there for a long, long time, right? And of course, more people show up. There's more people in the waiting room, right? And this lady's still complaining. And they come back, and I looked. Well, it was going on 10 o'clock, and I'm like, we're gonna have to leave. I can't. I'll cancel my appointment, and we'll just go. There's a lab like right next to where my next appointment was. Like, maybe we'll just go over there. So I go into my phone to cancel the appointment, and they come out, Susan, and this lady. Okay, I'm just gonna. She's like, did you have an appointment? And I said, yes, I did have an appointment. She just looks at her daughter. She's like, can you believe they're taking her before us? And I'm like, yeah, I was going to have an appointment. And I mean, whatever. She can be negative toward me all she wants to. I don't care. I'm at a point. Oh, Lord, I'm at a point in my life where I don't care anymore if you don't like me. I don't care if you get mad at me. I just don't care. Oh, I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. Oh my God. We walked in there, and oh my God. All right. The door wasn't even closed. And my personal care assistant, she's like, oh my God, that lady was ready to kill. The lady who takes the blood was like, oh, I saw her, babe. She's like, she is. You better watch when you go out there. She's going to hit you with her cane. Oh my God. But she says to me, look, you have an appointment. None of those other people do. She's like, I said, the worst part is I just made the appointment on the walk over from the doctor's office, which is right next door. And she's like, hey, you work the system. She goes, I've had people making appointments while they're sitting in my waiting room. She goes, just, hey, it's You were being smart. She's gonna sit there and wait. It's not my fault. So I'm sure because like when you walk through the door where she takes the blood is like right on the other side of the door, and then there's like you just walk through the door and go to the left, and there's like a little area with the chair with the little wings on it, and then and of course I don't, I just have to, she just has to wheel me up, boop boop boop, and we're done. But like we're talking to her, and of course right next to where we're at also is the little door to the window where they call people in. So I'm sure this old lady heard us laughing, and oh my god, we go out. We go to leave. She's like, so she took my blood. It was like 9 miles again. And we go to walk out, and she's like, good luck out there. So, of course, when we open the door, Em and I are busting out laughing like we just robbed the place. And we're like, and we're telling the lady, have a great holiday. And we were in such a, well, this lady just sat there with her little cane. It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh my God. Oh, my poor husband, Todd. When we get out to the car, he was outside. He was right out front waiting for us because he knew we had to get going. And we were dying. He's like, what happened in there? I'm like, oh my God, get in the car before this little old lady chases us down. And he's like, what? I'm like, get the wheelchair, stick it in the trunk, get in the car. We got to go. Oh my God. Okay, so I'll tell you the rest of the story. I have to gotta go make some rice and stuff, and I need to work on these hats because they're holding me accountable. I will be back, and then we will finish this video. I'll tell you about the rest of my day and my morning today, and we'll finish. Hopefully, we're gonna be finishing this hat. I need to at the very least, try to finish these hats and put at least a shawl on Etsy, and hopefully these hats on Etsy. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay. Bye. I'll be back. I'll be back. Not bye. I'll be back. Okay. All right. We're back for a little bit. So I wanted to talk while we're working on this. Again, if you hear my kids in the background, they're screaming again. So I know a lot of people are talking about how hard this yarn is to work with, and it is. I'm not gonna lie. All right, I'm gonna try to tilt you guys down a little bit so you can see a little bit more. My best advice is if you're new to crochet, you may not want to use this yarn. Okay, it's really not super beginner friendly at all. How I do it, I do a chain and I try to leave pretty big chains. Okay, and then you kind of have to just feel for the holes, you know. Um, to get, that's how I do it, and I just feel for the hole and stick the hook in it. It's kind of, and they do turn out really nice, you know. Are my counts perfect? Probably not. But do they look nice? And is anybody ever going to know? Because this yarn is very forgiving. It absolutely, you know what I mean? So you guys are back here with me. You're holding me accountable. We are going to work on this a little bit. And we're going to try to finish these 3 hats tonight. That is the goal. So I can get, one of them is just going to be a restock on my shop. And the other 2 are going to be new hats. Because I never made this color before. I only had enough to make 2. But it's this close to Christmas. If they sell, I'll just order some more of this yarn because I think it's really pretty. And if they don't, well then, you know, I'll have them for next year. Because that's one nice thing about crochet. It doesn't go bad. So I'll just put them in the totes and they'll sit there until next Christmas. And hopefully they'll sell next Christmas. Or who knows, because I just sold a tombstone soap yesterday on my Michael shop. So you never, This is why when people say they take down their holiday items, I don't. Because, I mean, again, I'm a Halloween girly. I like my spooky stuff all year round. So, who am I to judge? If somebody wants to order a Halloween, or I actually sold a tombstone soap, and I sold some pumpkin pie spice wax melts yesterday. And I also sold some sparkling strawberry soap with it. So, whatever. And so that doesn't make me mad. I have been slacking on my Michael shop, though. I have got to go through that one of these days and fix it up. Ugh. I tell you, I wish my whole day was just crocheting and enjoying crocheting and not having to do all the administrative stuff for a shop, because it's not as fun. I like sitting and crocheting and working and making things and doing all the picky administrative stuff, and like working on your Etsy titles and tags and things like that. Not as much fun. So, I'm glad you guys are here joining me for this hat journey. I thought I'd show you a couple of tips and tricks I do when I make my hats. So like I said, this fur yarn is not the easiest to work with, but I do think it's very doable. I don't know that I want to make, like, they have a picture on the label of like a blanket. I don't know that I really would want to do that. That's just nightmare fuel working with this. Because it's a little fuzzy, I'm not going to lie. I like it a little, especially when you clip it, little fuzzies fly everywhere. It's not schnozzy friendly. It's making my nose itch, my eyes itch, but a little bit. Just from the fuzzies, not from the actual yarn itself. The yarn itself is fine. It's just like when I cut it, the little fuzzies fly, and I'm like, so, oh, I know what else I wanted to show you guys. Squirrel. Completely forgot to show you this yesterday. So, I was looking for something, just something to do for me, just idle stuff, and I got a new Christmas coloring book. I got it at Target for like $6. And I started the first picture. It's cute, right? These are all vintage Christmas windows. So I'm doing, now the nice thing is it does not have a picture on the back, which some of these do. I should probably cover my address. And and I'm using alcohol markers, so they bleed really bad. So I put one of the crappy ads from the mail, like a Midas ad in between, so that it doesn't get alcohol marker on my next page. So that's just a tip or trick if you want to color with alcohol mark or any kind of markers that are like saturated like that. But these are nice. I think it's a cute picture. Let me know in the comments if it's something you want to see more of me coloring. I love to color. And if it's something you guys would like to see me do or like to color along with me, I can do that. And said, anybody who wants to make comments and stuff like that, I'd love to know what you guys like and don't like about the channel, anything, like that. So, yeah. So I'm glad you guys are here today. It really makes me happy. I'm just working on these hats. I did add my shawl to the Etsy shop. So that's up there for everybody to buy. I still have to do some posts, advertising it and all that jazz. I have some, but yeah, like after this afternoon, I was just, I was so tired because this morning I'm running on like a stress, and it doesn't take much to like put me into like overdrive stress, anxiety. So, but I'm much better now. I took a little nap this afternoon, got myself together. Sometimes I just need a reset, and a nap's never a bad thing. So, I did that. So yeah, this is how this works up. I'm working on these. I'm so glad you're joining me to do them. I kind of want to show you guys how I put them together in case anybody needs any tips and tricks on that. So I'm probably going to pause and see if I can finish up one of these, and then we'll come back when I have this one done, and we'll show you how I put these hats together. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, I'm back. Hey everybody, all right, I'm back again. So I got these. It's time to weave in the ends. This is the only time I use these needles, these plastic ones that you get with, I've gotten them free with stuff. This is the only time I use these. I don't love them. But when I'm using this fluffy yarn, they work better. They just do. So we're going to tie our ends in on these, and then we will finish these hats. So I hope you guys are here for the ride. It is 8 o'clock, I think. 8 o'clock at night. Oh, 8 o'clock at night. So hopefully we're going to get these done, and then I'm going to upload this video, and we're going to, like I said, sew in the ends. If any of you don't know how to sew in ends, you go one way. I'll show you this better with another. And oops, this is not going through. Other. So, all right, let me finish. I'm going to work on these, and I'll stop when I'm telling you. I want to show you stuff, but I want to tell you my story about. I finished my story. So, about the doctor yesterday. So, we went to. First, we were leaving the doctor, going over to wound care. So, I went over to wound care, and I got good news at wound care. They're so nice at my wound care office. I have to say that. For as much as I don't like going there because they beat my feet up and then they hurt all night, I really, truly, really, they're very, very nice there. Everybody there is so nice. Well, not the receptionist. She's like permanently grumpy. But she's nice. She's just permanently like grumpy. But she's nice. And so. But it was cute because I went there, and of course, you know, a lot of the people you run into at wound care you know, we don't get out much. Let's put it that way. So, you know, everybody I've met, like patient wise, has always been so friendly, and so I was at wound care and I was in the waiting room, and this woman came out. And she was there with her son, that's so funny. I'll tell you about that too. But she was there with her son. I'm assuming it was her son or her grandson. I'm not sure which one. And she comes out and she's like, oh, and the funny part was it was just us at that point. It was just us and him in the waiting room. And the nurse comes out and they're like, they're done. And she's like, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm wrong person. Because when we got there was two other people in the waiting room. So the first one that came out was this lady with her walker, her rollator walker, right? And she was really, really pleasant. Her daughter was with her. And she says to her daughter, she's like, oh, well, they want me to go see a vascular specialist now. And her daughter's like, another doctor? She's like, yeah. They already made the appointment for me. We just have to go. She's like, oh. She's like, where's that at? And she's like, oh, plus I have to go for a test. And her daughter's like, another test. I'm like, girlfriend, I understand. So, I was just laughing. I was laughing because I know all too well what her daughter was feeling. But the cute part was, all right, we'll pause. So this is the kind of needle I use, a regular, oh, see, there's fluffies. Fluffies everywhere with this yarn. Fluffies. I do have a garbage can on the floor here, so just so you don't think I'm just tucking stuff on the floor. I have a small garbage can next to me. I'm throwing stuff in. But yeah, so I use this little embroidery needle. You can see it. Oh, there's still fluff to my glove. All right. And this is, I was showing you, I leave a long tail on the end of my, sorry, my kids are so loud. And that's what I use to sew this on with. I did try at one point, we're going to just pause my story and we'll get back to it in a minute. I did try at one point to crochet this yarn right onto the hats. It was not, it didn't work. I tried it like 3 or 4 different ways. I had nothing but trouble with it. So, it's just simpler to make the hat itself, make the trim, slip it on here, and then I just take this long tail and just sew it into like this. Sew the brim on, because you really don't see the stitches much because of the fur. And then, I'm so sorry, my kids are so loud. But you know what I mean. And so it does leave a nice. It's not bad to do. It doesn't take too long. The hardest part is making sure that your needle goes through. I can't even show you the fur. Like, not just the fuzz, but the actual, like, yarn part. That's the hardest part of it. But it's not bad. It's not hard. It doesn't take me all that long. So, okay. So let's sew this on and I can keep on with my story. So, yesterday I went and I was at the... so this lady came out and she, of course, her daughter's like, another doctor appointment. And then she starts walking past me and I said, hello. And Em said hello. And we were, and this woman stops and she says to me, oh, she says, you have a beautiful smile. And she says, Santa's going to bring you lots of Christmas presents this year. And I'm like, well, I know he's not, because we just don't have the money to buy all kind of Christmas presents this year, especially not with me being under the weather for half the year. But it was nice that she said that. It really warmed my heart, you know, because Todd and I have agreed to not buy each other Christmas presents this year. It just isn't, you know, we're focused on the kids and we're big girls and boys. We can handle not getting Christmas presents. You know what I mean? It's just the way it has to be. So, yeah, so we're doing that. But I'm like, she was just so sweet. And I wished her a Merry Christmas. And then another lady came out and she had her, again, like I said, we don't get out much because we're, you know, all have wounds and stuff like that. So this other lady came out in a wheelchair and her son, or I don't know if it was her son or her grandson, was there waiting for her. And that was funny because that, like I started to say before, her and Em and I were in the waiting room, and then this guy was sitting in the corner, and he was on his phone and all spread out, like he was there for the long haul. You know what I mean? Coat on this side, he's got his phone, he's got his stuff all going all over the place. So I laughed. So they come out and they're like, they call him, they're like, Robert or whatever his name was, it doesn't matter. And he's like, and I'm like looking over and he's like, he's sitting there. She's like, Robert? And I'm like, and he's like, oh, me. I'm like, there's only 3 people in here and 2 of us are not Robert, obviously. So she came out and she was wearing this really pretty Christmas sweater. And of course I was like, oh, you know, love your sweater. Happy holidays. And, so yeah. So she was like, oh, thank you. And he was, and her, whatever, like I said, her son or her grandson, whatever he was like, oh, you have a Merry Christmas too. You know, it was just nice. You know, you don't get enough friendly interactions. Like it was just nice interactions yesterday. I just really truly enjoyed it. Um, and everybody was saying, happy holidays and Merry Christmas and stuff, even though we're a couple weeks out yet. I'm not quite ready for it to be Christmas yet, but it was just nice. It was nice, and because sometimes I don't get out much, and I feel like I'm missing out on things, and so it's just nice to celebrate a little bit. So yeah, so that was my big day yesterday. So yeah, I want to finish. So what else? What are you guys up to? Anything fun? Anything festive? Um, keep it warm if you're in this cold snap we're having around up here in the Northeast, or staying cool if you're somewhere below the equator. um, it's always, I mean, again, I've not traveled much in my lifetime, so it's always, weird for me to think of like Australia or anywhere in South America, um, or anywhere south of the equator, that it's like hot this time of year. You know, we all associate Christmas with cold. You know what I mean? Obviously, started out as a European holiday of some sort, and however you believe, whatever, there's different versions. Um, but you know what I mean? So obviously everything's cold, and you know, I can't imagine it being 95 degrees on Christmas. But I know there's a lot of people that, live, like I said, south of the equator, and it's very hot this time of year. So this is their summer. So if you're south of the equator, I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear how you guys celebrate Christmas, because, of course, we always associate everything with pine trees and, um, you know, coats and scarves and hats and things like that. What I'd love to know what is different celebrating it I mean, even I know people in the United States, like who are from, say, like Florida and stuff like that. It's always that, even that's always funny to me, because I've always lived in Northeast United States. They like are out in shorts and stuff on for Christmas when it's 70 some degrees. I've been watching people like, oh my God, we had to get our coats out because it got cold. It was almost 60 degrees in the house. And I was like, and again, where I live, I can't imagine. I follow people from Canada and Nova Scotia and stuff, and some of the temperatures they get, whoo. It's funny because, of course, we're stupid Americans that use Fahrenheit, which don't get. And, you hear them say like, oh, it's such and such Celsius. And you're like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad. And then you look it up and you're like, it's colder than I thought. God bless. So, yeah. So, and we do not get anywhere near, like, I live in Northeast Pennsylvania, and then there's like the lake effect snows in Canada and stuff. I mean, or not Canada. Oh my God. Not Canada. Like Michigan and, areas in the Midwest, or is that Midwest? I don't know. Yeah, I think. No. I don't know. In the middle of the country, like near the Great Lakes and stuff like that. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Where they get feet of snow, or like up in like Buffalo, New York, and Syracuse, New York, they get feet of snow at a time, where, we don't get near that amount of snow. Like, they think nothing of getting feet of snow, and yeah, we don't do that. All right, one down. All right, so I got one done. So this one I can put back in stock. Whoop, let's put it on. Still looks better like this. Oh, my ponytail is hitting. There we go. All right, this is what I'm restocking. And these I put the puff balls on the end, but I don't because right away because I washed these first. And I don't know if I ever showed you. My husband 3D prints these for me. And that's how I put the puff balls on. The puff balls all have, the pom-poms have a elastic band. And I put the elastic through and then I put it around one of these so that people can take them off because those pom-poms do not wash. This yarn does. I mean, I was worried the first time I washed this fur yarn that it was going to be an absolute nightmare. But no, it's fine. If you wash it, I don't know that I would put it in the dryer. But I know people that have. But it does do okay in the washing machine because I have thrown them in the washing machine on hand, like a delicate, but they do fine in the washer. Just, I don't know that I would put it in the dryer. I do recommend like hanging them to dry, but yeah, you don't have to hand wash them. That's for sure. But the pom-pom has to get taken off because that does not go, I don't know, that does not weather the storm. So, all right, I am going to pause this, because I don't want this video to be like an hour and a half long. I'm going to finish up at least one of the other hats because I want to show you what they look like. And then we will hopefully do another video tomorrow. All right, I'll be back. All right, end of the video. I forgot one of these hats done. I'll finish the other one off camera. But these are the newest color Santa hats. Can you see? This camera is not picking it up right. But these are cute. Cute, cute, cute. I'm going to pull it off. My hair is going to look atrocious. But look how cute. I'll get the colors closer. Now these pretty colors. So these are the new ones. I got 2 of these. I have to finish the second one up. Oh my god, look at my hair. Ugh. I knew it was going to be bad. So, those are done. I think they're super cute. Or I have one done. I will finish the other one tonight. I will let you know for sure tomorrow, but I think it will be done tonight because I have plenty of time and I have watching my Big Truck Big Travels on YouTube, and I really love this channel. If you don't watch it and you like watching RV stuff, it's really fun. And then tonight at 9 o'clock is Matt and Rebecca. Matt, the Rock and Crocheter, and Fiber Jazz Rebecca. I love watching their lives at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays. If you don't follow them and you like crochet, knitting, coloring content, love them. Absolutely love. They're like the sweetest, nicest people. They're funny. They're like the together forever couple. So like just some of the stuff I laugh the way they interact. Yeah, so if you don't follow them, like, they're amazing. I love them, and they're so kind and so generous, and they do so many cool things for other people, and just absolutely the kindest people. So they're on, this is Eastern Standard Time. They are on at 9 o'clock on Wednesday nights. I guess it's 6 o'clock their time. They're in California somewhere. So, all right, Vlogmas Day 11 done. I'm going to get this uploaded while I finish watching this, and then I'm going to finish my hats while I'm working on uploading things, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. I need a day where I'm like not like stressed out about everything. So I'm hoping that tomorrow's that day. I'm hoping it's a little more just chill. I just need to like get stuff done. You know what I mean? Like sit, get into my crochet, get into my or whatever, you know, and like have time. But I think this hats are so cute. So again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me. Do something merry today. I don't care what it is. Something that makes you smile. Make somebody smile like that lady at the Will Care office made me smile. Or do something that makes you laugh like that old lady who was miserable in the at the blood draw place made me laugh because she did. Oh, sorry. Oh, I have such a tickle from this weather. I'm so dry. Oh. Um, so, oh my God. So, thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And choose love every day. Bye, everybody.